Jekyll and Hyde is a highly recommended must-see musical. I missed the press opening and I've never seen this play, so it seems I have literally come a little late to this extraordinary musical retelling of Robert Louis Stevenson's Jekyll and Hyde classic. Originally conceived for the stage in 1990 by Frank Wildhorn and Steve Cooden, with music by Wildhorn and lyrics by Leslie Bricusse, presented here by Kokandy Productions. This is Reno Lovison, executive producer at ChicagoBroadcastingNetwork.com. Do me a favor and remember to like, share, or comment if you enjoyed this review, and consider subscribing if you would like to be alerted when new content is added. Your feedback lets us know how we're doing and signals to the all-important internet gods that this is content worth sharing with others. For those unfamiliar with the 1886 original story of Jekyll and Hyde, this is the tale of the strange case of Dr. Henry Jekyll, a fictitious 19th century London physician who decides to experiment on himself using what might be described as psychotropic drugs. His interest in the causes of insanity lead him to undertake this challenge in an effort to better understand the boundaries of the human mind, specifically as it relates to questions of morality. In doing so, he unleashes his own demon in the person of his alter ego, Mr. Hyde. The early ensemble performance of Facade alludes to the multiplicity of human personality and the idea that we have to work to suppress our most base instincts while carefully crafting our public image.
There are preachers who kill, there are killers who preach, there are teachers who lie, there are liars who teach. Take a pick, dear, 'cause it's all a facade.
Must seem to be rich and have money to burn, even though it's a big spending more than you earn.
That's the game here, and the name is facade.
In this production, both Jekyll and Hyde are expertly portrayed by soaring tenor David Morland, who diligently adapts his voice and visage in a physically demanding transformation between each character as he struggles with the opposing forces of good and evil. In deference to the Victorian sensibilities, it would be unseemly for Dr. Jekyll's fiancée, Emma Crewe, played by Emily McCormick, to have any interactions with the villainous Mr. Hyde, who instead turns his amorous attentions to local sex worker Lucy Harris, played by Anna Siebert. These women are not so much portrayals of good and evil, but rather references to British upper and lower class social behavior. In fact, Lucy is quite kind and good, but because she's of lower status, is easily abused by the sinister Hyde. Baritone Kevin Webb plays Gabriel John Utterson, Dr. Jekyll's lawyer and confidant, who does his best to protect his tormented friend. The unchecked Hyde sets out to seek revenge by punishing the hospital board of advisors who were unwilling to support Dr. Jekyll's initial request to experiment on inmates of the institution. These members include the unsympathetic presiding officer Simon Stride, played by Quinn Kelch, whose bass baritone had a particularly menacing timbre. John Parker Jackson plays Bishop Basingstoke, while General Lord Glossop is played by Quinn Rigg, Lord Savage by Ishmael Garcia, Sir Archibald Proops by Gabby Sauceda Cozio, and Lady Beaconsfield by Maiko Terazawa, who gets a special mention from me for best hair and makeup. Nathan Kalerinen plays Emma's father, Sir Danvers Carew, who is not exactly unsupportive of Jekyll, but neither is he an enthusiastic ally of the doctor's plans. Quinn Simmons, who appears as Jekyll's butler Poole, as well as a number of other supporting characters, is one of those performers whose energetic presence is felt without being a distraction, in spite of a gender-bending persona that allows them to morph in a chameleon-like fashion from role to role. In the performance I saw, understudy Siebert stepped in, filling the role of Lucy, replacing Ava Stovall, providing a powerful solo delivery of A New Life, as well as an exhilarating soprano duet of In My Eyes with Emily McCormick, which nearly required a mid-play encore. The score by Wildhorn and Bricusse is performed by an orchestra of 15 wonderful musicians, led by talented music director Nick Sula, which is an intense, non-stop marathon of dynamic compositions seamlessly progressing from one to the other, which had this very appreciative audience continually exhilarated. It was clear that director Derek Van Barum had control of this company and a clear vision that was executed impeccably. This was in no small part augmented by the brilliant choreography of Brenda Dieter, with movements that effectively illustrated the various emotions and messaging required by each character or ensemble at any given moment. The comparatively austere monochromatic wood-grained multi-level set design of Sotieros Leviditis was very effective, offering a glimpse of the orchestra behind while providing vertical lift to the action. The costumes of Rachel Siepieniewski were perfection from head to toe, including hair and wigs by Keith Ryan and makeup by Sid Genko, complemented by lighting of Max Maxon. After selling out the initial run, Kokandy Productions has added 8 additional performances through January 10, 2026 at Chopin Theater, 1543 West Division Street, Chicago. Running time is 2 hours and 15 minutes with 1 intermission. For information and tickets, visit kokandyproductions.com. This has been a great end-of-the-year theater season featuring a number of worthwhile shows. Look for my reviews of Death Trap at Skokie Theater, The House That Will Not Stand at Invictus Theater, and Much Ado About Nothing at Chicago Shakespeare Theater on Navy Pier. Since I mentioned Navy Pier, you might also like to find my review of the opening of the Flyover Experience, which is presently featuring flyover views of the Colorado Rockies. And while you're here, tune in to guest reporter Kim Campbell's interview with former Chicago resident Wendy Correa, author of My Pretty Baby, a memoir that chronicles the author's healing journey from early family trauma to ultimately building the peaceful family life she always longed for. This is Reno Lovison, executive producer at ChicagoBroadcastingNetwork.com, reminding you, if you need marketing or video assistance for your business or organization, check out renoweb.net.
At the end of the day, they don't mean what they say. They don't say what they mean. They don't ever contain.